like the era of showdown politics is over because both sides were getting singed with that and saw the diminishing returns on rushing up to every deadline and forcing us into a shutdown. I think the same is true for the debt limit. But I also agree that one reason why John Podesta was brought in is because
to do it. If we can't get Congress, we're going to do it.
Well, it's also look. He understands how the agency process works. He understands the full value of executive authority, and he also, there's a lot of people working on health care right now. He's focused on the other portfolios and trying to move things.
That was going to be the other part of my question, Phil. That all this is going to take place. Any other stuff that we do. And none of us know we saw Manchin, although he may switch parties, I think, someday. Do you get that feeling?
What?
Manchin? I mean, he's about as close as you can get to being a Republican and still be a Democrat at this point. But he said this Obamacare, he says this is crunch time. About whether it actually exists as it is or actually implodes.
Yeah, but in truth, he's not alone. I mean, there are a lot of Democrats in the Senate caucus who have the same exact thinking, and you see the kind of the
not just about their own election. The ones that have the same thinking are worried about their own skin.
Politically, Manchin is from a state where we're likely to see a switch in the U.S. Senate next fall.
Are there liberal Democrats that are worried about Obamacare imploding?
Probably liberal Democrats probably less worried, and frankly, Republicans have been out beating the drum saying, look, this is definitely going to be the death knell that we're going to hang our hats on in the context of 2014 Senate elections. Truth is, we don't actually know, Joe. It's one of the misnomers, I think, that's coming out of Washington is that the Republicans should just beat the Jesus out of the Democrats on Obamacare all year long, and that'll result in electoral success.
Phil, we didn't see in our All-America poll much of a deterioration at all from September to December. A period of time when
deterioration in what?
In attitudes about Obamacare.
Already 60% negative.
It was 30. It was
on the bill.
Very little change between September and December.
I saw that poll. I thought it was very interesting. People still believe in the benefit. They're highly skeptical of the plan. I mean,
they don't approve of it.
They don't approve it.
Get worse.
They don't approve it. The question is, over time, to Phil's point, does it work or not? Okay, because it's a moot point if it doesn't work.
You don't really know whether it's going to work.
I don't think anybody knows whether it works. There's some cause for some optimism, right? 1 million people have now signed up, 500,000 in the last 3 weeks.
But how many have lost?
A small percentage have lost,
really?
and yes,
there will be there will be more people covered at the beginning of the year than
we showed Joe.
Yes, yes. And by the way, if you're one of the 100 million people, if you're one of the 100 million people who now has their cost of preventative care is going down, if you're one of the 17.1 million kids who have a pre-existing condition who are now either covered where they were denied coverage before, or their costs are going down, then you support this. And over time, as people get it, if they like the benefit, it will rise in popularity. And then taking it away, completely repealing it, becomes politically dangerous.
But for the flip side, you have a senator like Coburn go on the shows yesterday and basically encourage people to essentially take the backstop around the system by claiming catastrophic, kind of impact,
right.
And then you have the composition of the overall pool ultimately deteriorate, and I think this thing ultimately will fall apart. So my message to Republicans that I work with is 2014 from a political perspective is that, do no harm year. We can frankly stand back to some degree and watch this thing deteriorate and watch our tone and watch our rhetoric and don't fall trap to the dumb things that we did in 2013 relative to the messaging around the debt ceiling. We can get something for the debt ceiling, but we can't do it with rhetoric and tone that's going to imperil our ability to connect electorally because, frankly, the electoral tectonics for next year look pretty good for Republicans.